I'm going to make some comments about Iran. I know a lot of people are thinking that Iran may be attacked very soon. I think that's a very real possibility this time around, and it has to be done, I would think, before the U.S. gets its troops out of Iraq, before the winter. I don't know 100%, nobody knows 100%, but I'm leaning towards it will be an attack. But I want to point out a few things here. I don't know if people ever heard of thorium nuclear reactors. The technology's actually been around a long time, and I'm going to just read something about it right here. If I maybe should blow this up a little more. It says, what if we could build a nuclear reactor that offers no possibility of a meltdown, generates its power inexpensively, and now here it is, this, what I have, creates no weapons grade byproducts like plutonium. That's why nobody uses it. And burnt up existing high level waste as well as old nuclear weapon stockpiles. What if the waste produced by such a reactor was radioactive for a mere few hundred years rather than tens of thousands of years? It may sound too good to be true, but such a reactor is indeed possible, and a number of teams around the world are working to make it a reality. Now, thorium is very abundant compared to uranium, which they need for the reactors today. But the reason nobody uses it, creates no weapons grade byproducts, and believe me, that's the whole reason why, because it's a hell of a lot cheaper to use thorium. Now, as far as countries that have it, the United States has a lot of it. We got, I don't know what the percentage this is, but you can see out of the slice of the pie, the United States does have a lot of it. It looks like maybe more than 25%. You got India has a lot, Venezuela has a lot, Australia has a hell of a lot. So, you know, it's far more abundant than uranium. Okay, so it by far. Now, uranium, we only have, at current levels, we have 80 years supply. Now, I want you to keep this in mind when you're thinking of Iran's nuclear weapons program, if they have it or not. Think of a country such as Iran, where they have a lot of oil. I know we're going to attack them because they're not using a dollar as the world reserve currency for trade with oil. I know that's hands down one of the major reasons. And but think of this, the other angle. I know there's a lot of scams out there. They say, oh, people have weapons of mass destruction and stuff. But why really do they have this program? Think about it. Think about it. It's the same reason. You know, a country that's that oil rich, you know, since February 2010, Iran has been successfully making 20% enriched uranium at Natanz, ostensibly to fuel a medical research reactor in Tehran. I'm saying that going through all this junk with this nuclear energy is more expensive than just using the oil. Okay? In their case, for sure. I mean, I don't think it's worth it. So, and it says 20% uranium is 9/10 of the way to weapons grade material. I think they are trying to get nukes. I'm saying maybe they should or shouldn't, but, you know, I think they do have a lot of hidden stuff. And I think there's a point to this. So, I'm going to point out something else. You know, Iran, they exchange oil with China. And China either pays them in euros or they do a barter system. And they also exchange oil with India. Although India's having problems paying Iran because of all the sanctions. It's tough for them to get the money to Iran. That's partly why China went on to the barter program. But here we look at China is leading the way with nuclear thorium energy. China revealed it was launching a rival technology to build a safer, cleaner, and ultimately cheaper network of reactors based on thorium. Right? So why can't Iran exchange oil for this technology with China? They're already trading with them already. Thorium-rich India. India has a big amount of thorium, right? Iran has oil. Why can't they exchange it with India for this thorium nuclear reactor? Thorium, like I said, doesn't produce any weapons grade materials. It's a lot safer, it's a lot cheaper. The fuel's a lot more abundant. It's more abundant, the thorium is more abundant, and exploiting it does not involve release of large quantities of carbon dioxide, making it less dangerous for climate than fossil fuels like coal. The pro-thorium lobby maintains this was partly because nuclear power programs in the United States and elsewhere developed with a military purpose in mind, access to a source of plutonium for nuclear weapons. That's why all these nuclear power plants don't bother with this thorium, and I know they're making it sound like it's a brand new technology, but the ideas and everything have been around since the 60s. It doesn't have any weapons grade plutonium that they need for nuclear weapons. That's what's wrong with it. So you figure Iran's two biggest trading partners, I think, China and India, who are both buying oil from them, are big into this program, and as also India has one of the largest sources of thorium. It's much cheaper. Why isn't Iran pursuing this? So, you know, I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the West, and the West doesn't like Iran particularly because they're not using the dollar as the currency for buying their oil. Iran is attacking the Western currency. I know this. But let me look at the other side of it. I think there is something to this. Iran is pursuing nuclear weapons. I don't trust it either. And I know it's not because I read it in here. I'm talking about, I don't know why people start on a new nuclear program. They don't use thorium, especially when you're looking at Iran. Their two big trading partners are China and India. And what is China and India doing? They're taking a cheaper, safer route. Now, as far as Israel, with its Western Wall, Wailing Wall, you know, I don't know what those people are doing. They go back too far in history. As far as I'm concerned, if they want another temple like Herod has, they could buy real estate in the United States cheap, with all the depressed real estate prices and all of the construction companies hurt for business. They could build a temple just exactly like Herod had it, a better materials, brand new. You got to remember that temple at one time was brand new too. So, you know, I don't know, people getting too much with this historical religious history in there. It's a little crazy sometimes, but you know, I think there is something to this with Iran's nuclear ambitions, and they got a lot of pride too. I mean, you know, the Persian Empire was a hell of a lot bigger, and it goes back many thousands of years. You know, I'm sure as you get one step and you go to another step, you want more and more. So, you know, not everything being said by the United States is a bunch of garbage, but we sure got some stupid leaders like our Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton. I can't believe that one. She's very smart, but, you know, if I could see right through what the heck these people are saying, I don't know how the other side of the world with the smartest people in the world, cunning and shrewd people, can't see what the heck they're doing too. But again, as far as Iran, you know, China and India, both are making thorium-rich reactors that don't produce any weapons-grade plutonium. They're cheap. And India has a nice supply for them, so they can totally avoid the issue. I don't know why not.